What's up, guys? Robert Opto Bodies. Now, today we're going to talk about what I think is the #1 reason, and I think it's really easily managed, that people aren't putting gains on in the gym. So why their gains are stalling and hitting a plateau. And I think this is the biggest rock in the jar. Now, a lot of times I talk about diet and consistency and like nutrition side of it. I think people know, people are getting enough protein. I don't rarely get someone that's really into the gym trying to put on muscle, young lad or lasses are into it as well, which is great. And it's never, I never look at the diet and think, yeah, you need more protein, that's your issue. So I don't think that is the cause, nor do I think that it's consistency, because I see the same faces in the gym day in, day out, year after year. Morning, John. Yep. Oh, hi, Gene. There again. I don't think it's that, because you do see people putting in the work, and I say work like that because I'm going to explain it'll make sense. You see the turning up, which is great, tick. #1, they've got out of bed, they've got there, but then I think they're selling themselves short. So it's not the consistency, because they're in the gym. You think, what's going on? Is eating enough protein? Is training every day? What's going on? The biggest rock in the jar, and it makes real sense when we look at it physiologically and even just common sense, is intensity. And what do I mean by that? I mean how close to failure they're getting when their last rep is done. Okay, so what I mean by that is, say someone stands up and they start doing some bicep curls. More often than not, say they do 10 reps, their 10th rep looks exactly the same as their first rep, which is a problem. And it's better than obviously doing no reps, but the amount of times I PT people, I can use my wife as an example. Like, she's great with, like, gets into a routine with consistency and stuff, but I went with her the other day and she was on like a leg extension for the quads, and I said, how many did you get last time? She said, oh, I do 10 with this weight. I said, okay, let's see. So I got to do 10, and I was like, right, your 10th rep looks easy, same as the first. Let's keep going, see how many it is. And then just for a psychological sort of motivation, I'll say, right, last 10, and she'll look at me like, oh my God, you do it. So she's already done 10, then it's 10, 9, 8, 7, blah, 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 6, 5, 4, and they start getting slower and it's burning and her face is screwed up, and that is what I want to see. Because when that's happening, so physiologically, your body will recruit slow twitch muscle fibers first. It wants to preserve energy, so it'll recruit just a few fibers to help out. Then it starts to get harder. Intermediate fibers come in. It's getting harder now, it's burning. Like, right, lads, come on, everyone, this weight is getting heavy, everyone needs to chip in. The super fast twitch fibers are kicking in, and they're the ones that are shown to promote growth. They're more hypertrophic, so more responsive to growth. Say like you start here and your set starts, you stop at 10 there, but you've got 20 here. If you stop there, you might only be getting at most half the muscle gains that's possible. You've only stimulated half the amount of fibers. All these this area here needs stimulating. So I always think, I'm in the set anyway, I'm here, it's starting to burn, make most of it, get more bang for your buck, keep going, and that last rep, you might not even get it. So if it's safe, like if a weight that you can put down, if you fail it, if it's a machine, it's not like a free weight squat where you're going to drop down, go to absolute failure, and then that is a yardstick then you know you got 20, couldn't get 21 with a gun to your head, okay? So then next time, you can use progressive overload, write it down in your logbook, I'm going to get at least 21, I'm going to use more weight. So going to failure, there's this massive fad about reps in reserve, and so say like you could do 10, but you only do 8 and you write down 2 reps in reserve. Why didn't you get them last 2 reps? If you can do them with perfect form and you're not going to get injured, those reps, those new reps could be the ones that cause you to grow. If you only got 8 again, there's no stimulus. That's how you have to look at it. If you got 10 reps with a certain weight last week, if you do 10 reps again next week and the week after, which I've seen so many times in gyms, why would your body or muscle adapt to it? There's no new stimulus. It can do 10 reps with 100 kilo on the bench press. Okay? So your pecs they've adapted to be able to do that. If you don't push it and make it do an 11th, there's going to be no change. So that's what you need to see it as. And I think a lot of time is it's because it's hard and it burns. I get it. And I found this video that I'd used for something else. I was experimenting, showing an example of doing a dip instead of a bench press for injuries. So, but this is perfect. This is a video of my brother, and this is what I want your last rep to look like which really shows you've hit failure and 0 reps in the reserve, and most importantly, you've hit every muscle fibre. So here's a little video over here. You can see that young Daniel there only just got that last rep, but he knows that. Say like that where his 10th rep, he writes it down or he remembers it or he's got the video to go back to. Next time he goes in the gym, he's like, right, I'm getting 11. If I only get 10 again, my muscles aren't going to change. So that is so, so important. As a side note, probably get a logbook or your notes in your phone, write down what you're doing and aim to beat it every time. Just a rep here and there. Might take a month or so, say that you get 10 reps again, but it will come. Okay, if your technique's exactly the same, that's the important part. You don't want to start cheating and selling yourself short. But having this intensity, it's not easy. It's easy for me to say, just go to failure. You really need to flick that switch in your brain and have that grind, that sort of gun to your head, life or death moment. It sounds a bit extreme, but you're not going to beat that weight if you don't give your body a reason to it. So say like you're under a bench press and it's coming down on you, and you have to really, you have to activate everything, get the adrenaline going. You have to flick that switch in your brain. So I think deep down your brain thinks something's crushing you or you're running away from a saber-toothed tiger, all these evolutionary traits that we've probably still got. Give it a reason to grow. So you can do that by just, everyone's going to have their own individual thoughts, but stuff comes up in my head about something bad happened to one of my children, or even just like I'm lowering myself down on this hack squat and my missus comes in with my kids and like, oh, daddy's here, look. I'm not going down in front of them. So that goes in my head. I think, right, I need to impress my kids and my wife. I need to lift this weight. So I hope that makes sense. So everyone might have this little flick in their brain. So say it's a bench press. Just imagine, like, if you don't lift this weight, this is going to crush you. You can't breathe. You will die. Sounds extreme, but for some people, honestly, try it. And it might just flick that switch and get in that extra rep. And that extra rep every week is that is the rep of growth. See it as that. If you're like on the leg press while texting, you're going to be nowhere near your capability and your strength of getting to that 0 reps in a reserve. You're way down here. You just see them. And it's not even like a warm-up set. It's just not heading the game at all. Going through the motions, literally just at most warming up. There needs to be some intensity. Put your phone down, grind, start getting that adrenaline going and think life or death situation, and trust me, your muscle gains will skyrocket. As always, I hope this helps, okay? Obviously, hitting your protein, you're training consistently, you sleep, all those things, you're managing your stress. But if there's no intensity in the gym, if you can't flick that switch and get the adrenaline glowing and growing, and have that gun to your head moment on that last rep, because it might sound stupid. It's like, oh, well, it's only one more rep, but it's one more rep every week, and it's one new rep. New reps equal new muscle. Rob Optimal Bodies signing out. Cheers. Boom.